If young people are to join and then remain in the Army's cadet forces, the quality of the instruction they receive must be of the highest standard. To keep cadets engaged, their experiences must be fun, interesting, and rewarding. A good instructor is one who creates the right conditions for learning and finds ways to inspire and motivate cadets through their dedication, imagination, and approach. The aim of drill is to produce cadets who are alert and obedient and to provide the basis of teamwork. It also builds pride and engenders collective discipline. It is a key skill for all cadets and is a great subject for SCIC qualified cadets to teach whilst developing their instructional ability. Drill lessons are easy to organise, as all that's required is an adequate space with hard standing, either indoors or out. By the end of this video, you will understand the mechanics of how to prepare, then deliver a high quality lesson, and will be equipped with a framework which can be applied to other drill lessons with the same success. This knowledge will help you with the preparation of your SCIC lessons, and through growing confidence in your own ability, you will develop as an instructor and become even more of an asset to your cadet unit. Rather than just showing you a lesson, this presentation will follow the 5 stages of effective instruction and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how training is prepared. Within your detachment, you will need to ensure that you are teaching the right lessons to the right people. To identify the need, we will need to ask some key questions. What subject material needs to be covered? For the purpose of this video, the task is to deliver the lesson, Turnings at the Halt. What stage in their training are the students at? We know that this is their 3rd drill lesson, therefore the cadets will have limited knowledge. What gaps are there in their knowledge? We won't know this until we meet our students. However, don't discount the fact that some brand new cadets may already have experience. They could have been in other cadet forces, or may come from a military background and have family that have taught them. This is something you might have a chance to ask about while planning the lesson. If not, you should certainly factor in a question early on. Who are we training? This information will have implications regarding the maturity of the group and how much information they can be expected to take in, as well as flag up any potential discipline issues that may impact on the delivery. As this will be delivered to a relatively inexperienced squad of cadets, you may want to ask for an assistant instructor. How competent are the students? It's especially important to get this right in advanced lessons. However, they may have missed the previous lessons, so an element of catch-up may be required. Why are we teaching this lesson? It's important to know why you've been asked to teach a lesson. If it's a fill-in lesson while cadets are waiting to do other activities, although you still need to prepare it, it may not take as long as for a lesson that's part of preparation for a drill test or a competition. Now we've identified the need, we can get on with the important task of planning and preparation. Prior planning and preparation prevents poor performance is an old saying that is still as relevant today as the day it was first uttered, probably by an unfortunate soldier whose chain of command had failed to take the advice. The following steps should be followed to plan and prepare a high-quality lesson. Consider the audience. Set a clear aim or objective. Plan the lesson, including assessment of the students. Prepare the lesson fully. We will now look at each in detail. We've touched on how we consider the audience during stage 1. However, now we need to look at other factors, such as their age, therefore maturity, how many there are, what do they need or want to get from the lesson, what can they do already. There are lots more factors which are listed in paragraph 18 of the CFIT handbook. When preparing to teach cadets in your detachment, ask for advice if unsure how to deal with certain characters or characteristics. Before doing any planning or preparation, you must be clear in your mind what it is you want the cadets to achieve in the lesson. To do this, ensure you have a simple, clear, measurable and achievable aim or objective, which is based on what each of the cadets will have achieved at the end of the lesson. The aim can be found in the relevant pamphlet. As cadets, you can find the lesson in the Cadet Training Manual. However, there is also information in the Army Drill Manual 2017, which may be useful, and even a foot drill QR code booklet, which has links to YouTube videos of drill movements. As well as information such as how long the lesson should take, the pamphlet includes the words of command, which must be adhered to, and the method which should be used to teach the movements. The aims in the drill manual for this lesson are listed as to teach cadets turnings at the halt, The aim of the lesson should always be given with a reason why it's important to learn and an incentive to do well. The aim for this lesson could be, by the end of this lesson, you will know how to conduct turnings at the halt. This will enable you as individuals or as a body of cadets to turn left, right, and about in a smart, uniform manner. Once able to master these, you'll be ready for your one-star drill test, and with practice, be good enough to take part in the intercompany drill competition. The next step will result in the production of the lesson plan, a template for which can be found at Annex A of the CFIT manual. To plan the lesson, we will need to confirm the content, and this is best done by getting the information straight into the relevant areas of the template in draft format. How you fill it out is optional. However, getting the aim and the main body onto your lesson plan first is advisable, as the rest of the information will come as you examine the manual. You will notice the lesson plan is broken into columns. These are useful when planning your timings and opportunity for feedback, or just reminders to jog your memory during rehearsals. The summary should state what the students have learned during the lesson and give reminders. At no time should the summary give new information that was not taught in the lesson. A summary often links into the look forward, which for this lesson, although separated on the lesson plan, could look something like this. Planning the use of effective delivery methods will help ensure you maintain the cadets' interest in the subject being taught. Through excellent demonstrations and clear explanations, followed by well-structured collective, individual, and collective practice, the cadets will be inspired and encouraged. With the main body complete, the rest of the lesson plan is now completed by considering the remainder of the planning factors. Although you may not need assistance to teach the lesson, the right person watching could give you valuable feedback regarding your delivery. Finally, the methods you intend to use to conduct assessment and evaluation should be considered, remembering that assessment will have occurred throughout the lesson. We have now completed the planning phase of the process. To ensure success, you must spend time in the preparation of your lessons. This should include ensuring your own knowledge and skills and demonstrations are comprehensive and rehearsed. Check you have all instructional materials or training aids that you need and they are up to date by rehearsing the whole lesson. Prepare the training environment, ensuring it is correctly risk assessed and safe before use. Rehearse any action safety plans you have in place to mitigate risks. Finally, ensure there are no distractions that will affect your lesson, including your own mannerisms that can be trained out through rigorous and thorough rehearsals. More detail regarding the preparation phase can be found at paragraph 21 of the CFIT manual. Now our preparation is complete. After full rehearsals, we're ready to deliver the lesson. No one can expect to be a fully competent instructor the very first time they stand up in front of cadets. The various skills only come together with practice, and in the early stages, you should seek the support of one or more good instructors, especially when rehearsing new lessons. This will allow them to help you coach out bad habits before they have an impact. Paragraph 23 of the CFIT manual has some great information about instructional techniques, although thorough rehearsals with honest feedback from a suitably qualified instructor is invaluable. If you rehearse every lesson fully before each delivery, your ability as an instructor will develop quickly. The most important things to remember when teaching drill is that recruits imitate their instructors. Therefore, it is by example that they will learn the most. As an instructor of drill, you should stand to attention when drilling the squad. March as you would expect the squad to march. When demonstrating, do so accurately. Do not use bad language. Be impeccably turned out and never over-exaggerate drill movements. As we found out when writing the lesson plan, every lesson has a beginning, middle and end. If we get the start right, the rest will follow, and it is for this reason we cover preliminaries, or prelims, as part of the introductory phase. Delivering prelims is when we set the conditions for success. On the lesson plan in the CFIT manual, the headings of the introduction spell the mnemonic priors. Knowing what each letter stands for will help with remembering the sequence. Another way to remember the prelims is the mnemonic CNN FARI. This can be broken down as follows. Check kit. This will form an inspection of the student's turnout. Numbering off is used as an energizer to make sure the students are alert, but it is most useful as this lesson has a teamwork aspect. Normal safety precautions are only required when teaching weapon drill. However, consider student safety here also. Students are often required to change location or formations to observe the lesson. This is practiced here to make the lesson run smoother and is also another form of energizer. Anything else covers a miscellaneous point such as injuries that might stop the student from participating in the lesson or muster locations. Revision is a great way to get the students' minds working and is conducted here just before launching into the introduction. The introduction itself may consist of a short scene-setting story or fact relating to the subject. It will always include the aim and the reason why the subject is important, along with an incentive which will promote the desire to learn within the students. In this short video you're about to see, you'll see how the mnemonic CNN Fari helps us to introduce the drill lesson.
Listen in then. Squad. Squad! Shun! Let's just have a look and check your kit over. Make sure you're smart enough for parade. Good. Today you'll be working in pairs. So, from the right, in teams of 2, number.
1, 2.
Good. You two will be working together as a team. We are working in a car park. Just please be aware of your surroundings. I will also keep checking to make sure that we are not in danger while we're carrying out this lesson. We will be using formations today. The formation that you are in will be called baseline. So when I call baseline, I want you to come back to the positions you are in now. Make sure now that your mobile phones are switched off. Good. And also, has anybody got any injuries that will stop them completing this lesson? Good. Revision today is stand at ease and the position of attention. You're already in the position of attention now, which is good. Make sure that your shoulders are back, your thumbs are pushed down and feeling for the seams of your trousers, and your chins are up. Listen in then, and I will stand you at ease. Stand at ease! Good. Remember, bring the thigh parallel to. Today, we are going to move forward now with your foot drill. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to turn to the right and the left at the halt. The reason this movement is taught is to allow you, as individuals or a body of cadets, to move for an angle of 90 degrees to the right or left in a smart, soldier-like manner. This will allow you to pass your drill test and complete your 1-star. Are there any questions?
Paragraph 23 of the CFIT Handbook lists techniques for delivering effective lessons. However, embodying the mnemonic craved gives any instructor a firm base of characteristics on which to develop. Confidence in ability and subject matter will inspire the audience to learn. Rapport with your audience will create a positive environment. Use humour sparingly for it to be effective. Attitude is important when delivering information. If you make it sound interesting and important, you will hold the attention of your audience. Variety breaks up difficult subject matter and increases the use of the senses. Enthusiasm for the subject will be infectious. Distractions such as mannerisms are harder to spot than classics such as noisy workers or open windows. Ask a fellow instructor to give you constructive feedback if this is something you are aware of. When teaching drill, your delivery, including explanations, but especially words of command, should be loud, clear and powerful, since the way they are delivered affects the reaction of the squad, and spoken or weak commands will lose the instructor authority and lead to bad drill and poor discipline. Words of command are broken into 3 parts. Introductory commands tell the squad what movement they are about to carry out. Cautionary commands are drawn out, informing the squad of key points. Executive commands should be loud, high-pitched, sharp commands. Look out in the video that you will see soon and try and recognise these 3 different types of command. Although EDIP is a cornerstone of most instruction within the cadet forces, when teaching drill we change the order. and demonstrate actions before explaining what the cadets have just seen, which they then imitate during controlled collective practice, then repeat during individual practice, before returning together where they will confirm understanding during further collective practice under the control of the instructor. What you're going to see now is Sergeant Humphrey's drill lesson. He gives some great advice throughout the presentation.
Okay, let's now look at how we teach a drill lesson. Most teaching lessons we use EDIP. However, in drill we change this slightly and we do a demonstration, then we explain, and then we do the practice. The practice is broken down into 3 parts: a collective practice, an individual practice, and then back to a collective practice. Let's see how this teaching phase looks. On the word of command, stand easy, look this way, and I will give you a demonstration of the movement. Stand easy. Turnings at the halt. Left, turn, 1, 2, 3, 1. Turnings at the halt. Right, turn, 1, 2, 3, 1. There you saw a complete demonstration of the movement. For instructional purposes, this movement is broken down into parts, each part being numbered. Continue to look this way and I will demonstrate to you the actions to be carried out on receipts of the word of command, turnings by numbers, left turn 1. Turnings by numbers, left turn 1, 1. Immediately on the receipt of the word of command, I force my body through an angle of 90 degrees to the left by pivoting on the heel of my left foot and the toes of my right foot. The remainder of my body remained in the correct position of attention. Points to note: my body weight is now forward over my left foot and my left foot is flat on the floor. The toes of my right foot are down and the heel of my right foot is raised. The remainder of my body is at the correct position of attention. Are there any questions? You, the squad, on receipt of the word of command, will carry out these actions and call out 1. Listen in. Squad, squad, shun.
Turnings by numbers. Left turn, 1. 1. Good. Okay, remember, when you turn, look up. Keep the arms locked into the side. Don't be tempted to flap them around. Okay, you should be on the toes now of your right foot should be down and the heel needs to be uppermost. Let's raise that heel slightly. Good. Turn and face me.
Turnings by numbers. Left turn 1.
1.
Good, stand still. What I want you to do now is break away in your pairs, giving each other the correct words of command, and practice this. And I will come round and check to make sure you're doing it correctly. Carry on.
Turning by numbers, left turn, 1, 1.
Good, remember to look up, keep the body weight slightly forward on the left foot. Baseline. Good, let's practice that a couple more times. Turnings by numbers. Left turn, 1.
1.
Turn and face me. Turnings by numbers. Left turn, 1.
1.
Good. Now we've done that and we've practiced collectively, individually and collectively, we're now going to move on to the second part of the teaching phase. Let's see how that looks. I left you in this position. Continue to look this way and I'll demonstrate to you the actions to be carried out on receipt of the word of command, squad 2. Squad 2! 2! Immediately on receipt of the word of command, squad 2, I brought my right leg up so my thigh was parallel to the ground and my foot was hanging naturally below. I then drove my right foot next to my left foot to assume the correct position of attention. The remainder of my body did not move and remained at the correct position of attention. Are there any questions? You, the squad, on receipt of the word of command of squad 2, will shout 2 and carry out that movement. Listen in. Turnings by numbers. Left turn 1.
1.
Squad 2.
2.
Good. Remember, the thigh must come parallel to the ground with the foot hanging naturally below. Listen in. Turn and face me. Turnings by numbers. Left turn 1.
1.
Squad 2.
2.
Okay, a little bit quicker there. Okay, turn and face me. Okay, what we would do now then is I would send them away in their pairs to practice that movement. I would go around fault checking, and then once I'm happy, I would then call them back to baseline and we practice that movement collectively again. Once we've carried out the collective individual and collective practices using numbers, what we need to do now is put the drill movement together using the regimental pulls of 1, 2, 3, 1. This allows us to carry out 40 drill movements a second. Let's have a look how that would be taught. Stand at ease. Good. What we're going to do now is put this movement together. Continue to look this way and I will demonstrate to you the actions to be carried out on receipt of the word of command. Turnings at the halt, left turn. Turnings at the halt, left turn. 1, 2, 3, 1. Turnings at the halt, right turn. 1, 2, 3, 1. There you saw a demonstration using the regimental pulls of 1, 2, 3, 1. You, the squad, will call out this timing, moving on the 1s and standing perfectly still on the 2, 3s. Are there any questions? Listen in. Squad, squad, turn. Turnings at the halt, judging the time. Left turn.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Turn and face me. Remember, move only on the 1s, stand still on the 2, 3s. Turnings at the halt. Left turn.
1, 2, 3, 1.
Good. And what we would do now is again send them away to do their individual practice, and then once I was satisfied I would then bring them back and do a collective practice.
Whilst we've been carrying out assessment in small chunks throughout the lesson, it is during the end of lesson drills, through final questions and practice, that we assess the effectiveness of our instruction. If many students fail to comprehend the same aspect of the lesson, the instructor will know they have not delivered the subject matter adequately. Questions from and to the group offer the chance to confirm knowledge-based learning. Whilst in our lesson the majority of it was practical, so therefore final practice shows how well skills have been learned. Any kit is then to be packed away as required, and whilst normal safety precautions are not required for foot drill, you should check now for any injuries that may have been sustained during the lesson. Finally, a summary of what the students have learned should be delivered, linking back to the original aim and forwards to the next lesson on the same subject. As soon as possible after the lesson is finished, you should conduct evaluation. Ask yourself, did you achieve your objectives? If not, what do you need to do to make improvements? What aspects went well? What could be improved even more? You can identify the answers through informal questioning of the students, using the results of your assessment of learning, running through the lesson in your head, or asking any assistance for constructive feedback. There are more ideas in paragraph 30 of the CFIT handbook. You have now seen what is required in order to follow the 5 stages of effective instruction, and hopefully you feel enlightened, enthused, and ready to begin preparing your own instructional period. Remember, if in doubt, read the handbook and your notes, then ask for help.